2.7 is the introduction to solving inequalities, and we will be going over these. So you have less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Usually these are read left to right. So let's look at some examples. I believe on Alex, you will see it like this. The set of all x's such that x is greater than or equal to 3. So x is greater than, I'm sorry, no equal there. Let's take that one out. So x is greater than 3. If we go up to the number line, I prefer to use the parentheses here, saying it starts in 3 and it's greater than, so it's going in the positive direction. Sometimes it's also written with an open dot at the 3, meaning it doesn't include the 3, and then the arrow going in the positive direction. Now, if we have one x is greater than or equal to 3, then we would use a bracket. And the bracket means that it includes the 3. So we have the bracket right here, meaning it includes 3 and anything greater than that, so it goes in the positive direction. So always do the number line first, and then you can look at the number line and you'll put the proper sequence when you do the interval notation. So the set of all x such that x is greater than 3, you look up here and you see that it has a parentheses. It starts with a 3, and this is infinity, the symbol for infinity. Likewise, when we have x is greater than or equal to 3, the bracket in the interval notation indicates that the 3 is included. So again, we start with a 3, and it goes out to infinity. So more on inequalities. If we start with the equation or the inequality, negative 5t is less than 55, and we divide each side by negative 5 because we want to get t all by itself. We normally would get t is less than negative 11, but because we're dividing by a negative, we reverse the sign of the inequality. So instead of less than, it becomes greater than. So 11 and greater. And if we did the interval notation, we would have a parentheses to start with, negative 11, then out to infinity. Infinities never have a bracket. So the important thing to remember is when multiplying or dividing, by a negative number, you reverse the direction of the inequality. So let's look at another couple examples. Negative 5 greater than 3x plus 7. So we treat this inequality sign as an equal sign. So first of all, we subtract 7 from both sides. We get negative 12 is greater than 3x. The 3 is multiplied by the x, so we undo it with division, and we end up with -4 is greater than x. So that means that x is less than -4. So when we graph it on the number line, we end up with a parentheses at -4, and it's less than that, so it's going in the negative direction. So if you do the number line first, you'll see that in the interval notation, you're going to start with that parentheses right here, put your -4 in, and technically it goes to a negative infinity. And I don't know on the web or on the Alex if they'll take that or not. I would try it, and they may want just infinity, but on the WebAssign, they took negative infinity. And the next one is a compound inequality, which means that you have an inequality on both sides. So we have -4 is less than 2 times the quantity x minus 1, and that must be less than or equal to 4. So first we distribute this. Because we have a parentheses, we have to do the order of operations. So we have -4 less than 2x minus 2 is less than or equal to 4. We always work from the inside out. And you treat this as if you have two equal signs, so we're solving the center section. So we have to undo the addition and subtraction by adding 2 to the middle section and 2 to the left side and 2 to the right side. So then we'll get -2 less than 2x less than or equal to 6. Then because we have 2 x's and that's multiplied, we undo the multiplication by dividing. So we would end up with -1 less than x less than or equal to 3x. So on your number line, x has to be greater than -1. So there's no equal sign in that. So we're going to use a parentheses at -1. And then x also has to be less than or equal to 3. It can equal it, so we're going to have a bracket to represent that the 3 is included. And so it's all these numbers in between. So now, when you do your interval notation, you can see that you're going to start on the left with a parentheses and on the right with a bracket, because the -1 cannot be included, but the 3 can. And then you put your numbers in, -3 or -1 to 3. So it's all those numbers on the number line, greater than -1, less than or equal to 3. And that is 2.7.